Well, we're receiving some breaking news here at Sky Sports News, and Manchester United have reached an agreement with Wolverhampton Wanderers for the signing of their captain, Matheus Cunha. Spanish, German and Swiss top flights.
Matheus Cunha is coming to Manchester United. He's signed, sealed and delivered. Wow. Ruben Amorim said he was going to go into the market, get some players in. He needs to reboot this attack. We don't look like we're going to score goals in open play, unless it's Bruno or maybe Ahmad. We've taken Wolves' top goal scorer this season. He's got 16 goals to his name in all competitions. He has, I think, vitally important when you're talking about recruiting players. He's one of the players that I mentioned a few weeks ago. If I was had a shopping list, he'd be on there.
Well, what a start to the transfer window. Manchester United seal the signing of Matheus Cunha. And it's an excellent, excellent, excellent start. Yeah, it is. I'm really happy about this. But anyway, we'll get back to Rio in just a quick second. But remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And if there's something on your mind, if something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments, and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Yes, in this little clip, you're going to be hearing the latest news about Matheus Cunha signing for Manchester United from Sky Sports, and you're also going to be hearing what Rio Ferdinand has to say about this electric signing. Stick around for after the clip, because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on this entire situation and what next for United. Here's Rio.
And he knows the Premier League, so he doesn't even need no adaptation time. This is a huge factor, I think. If you're going to go and buy players from foreign leagues, from places that players that don't have the experience in the Premier League, there is always a risk. But he has the experience here. We've seen him here. He grew up a Man United fan. He was Anderson. Shout out Anderson. Anderson was his guy. I have to ask him why. But no, jokes, I'm joking. But yeah, he's obviously a Man United fan. And I'm hearing he's taking the number 10 shirt, which was Rashford's shirt. What does that mean for Marcus Rashford, man? So, I don't know. It said there's a lot of questions in terms that will be asked about that as well. It might answer a few questions. But 17 goals, 6 assists in 36 games for a Wolves team, I think is impressive. I think the recruitment team of Manchester United would have seen, and the coaches here and the players would have seen what he'd done to Man United at Old Trafford. He was slicing through Man United like a hot knife through butter at Old Trafford. And he looked like he had the power. Well, that's what he's got. Yeah, I think he fits a Ruben Amorim player profile perfectly. He's quick, he's dynamic, he's aggressive, he's capable of dropping deep and receiving the ball and transitioning with the ball, can pass. And he can threaten the opponents with a goal by running deep or coming short. So I think he's a type of player that Ruben Amorim has been crying out for in his squad. And with neither Højlund or Xerxes at the moment looking like the answer in advanced positions, I think he has a real opportunity to play across one of those front three positions quite easily. As a 9, as one of the guys off the sides, I think it'll be. He's a very good addition. Now, the problem we've got is that we've said this about many players coming into Manchester United over the last 10, 12 years. What a signing, excited, haven't produced. That old saying becomes a little bit of a graveyard for certain players. I hope that isn't the case with Matheus Cunha. Fingers crossed. But I think this is a great start to the transfer window. I think if I was the recruitment team now, if I was advising them on anything now, I'll be saying, please make sure you do not forget an experienced number 9. I'm not going to say names. I've said the names too many times, but I'd go and get a midfielder as well. A midfielder who can either dictate the play and pass and be the orchestrator. But I think he also needs to have a little bit of legs as well about him. I think that's what Ruben Amorim's teams are about. They do that. So those 2 players will be the next ones: a centre forward and a centre midfielder. Also a right back. I'm hearing Frimpong's going to Liverpool, which will hurt me a little bit. I've got to be honest. I think that he would fit the way that Ruben Amorim wants to play perfectly. But I have to say, I'm really, really excited about Cunha's signing. I'm happy with his signing. I'm happy with how aggressive we've been immediately, acting on it instantly, go in and buy your player. Go in and get a player what you want. So, listen, the only thing I would say, when money's going to be tight in this window, 60 million, I think it's going to remain to be seen what type of work gets done when you're spending a big chunk like that. As much as I'm happy with it, it means there's going to be some going out of the door. And it means it's going to be probably somebody like Garnacho, Garnacho or Kobe Mainu and Marcus Rashford will be the players that will be going, I think. So, when you look at it, 60 million is a lot of money. But where are you going to get players that can come in and affect your first team for less than that type of money? Unless you go into places like, I don't know, like unless you're recruiting like a Brighton who do it off data and have done magnificently and remarkably well in recent times. But I think he's a priority position. I think a centre forward's a priority position, and I think centre midfield's a priority position.
Well, during 2.5 seasons at Wolves, Cunha scored 33 goals in 92 appearances. This is a huge statement for Manchester United, of course, because Bruno Amorim has said that he's going to rebuild the club this summer. So this will be his first big signing in this window. They had to play the release cost, of course, of £62.5 million. But this shows a real statement, doesn't it, from Manchester United? They have had a dismal season. They finished 15th, of course. They lost the Europa League final. Bruno Amorim, I know, has got a lot of it's worth pointing out, of course, that he is, of course, Brazilian, 26-year-old, so he is out with Brazil, or he will be shortly after tying up the loose ends with Manchester United. They've got a qualifier against Ecuador. But I think that it's really important. We've got a statement from Manchester United, which I'll just read out to you now. It's that they've reached an agreement with Wolverhampton Wanderers for the signing of Matheus Cunha. The forward is signing subject to visa and registration. The 26-year-old has 13 senior caps for Brazil, and in his club career he's made 270 appearances and he scored 70 goals in the English, the Spanish, German and Swiss top flights. Absolutely incredible numbers. So just to recap, Manchester United have announced that they are signing Wolves captain Matheus Cunha. They've paid the release clause of £62.5 million. So a huge statement from Manchester United. Bruno Amorim really has to Amorim has to really set a precedent and build on a very poor season for Manchester United, where they finished 15th in the table.
Yes, very good signing. We needed a number 10. A number 10 that can score goals and create goals, and that's what we've done. We went out and bought that number 10. I agree with a lot of what Rio Ferdinand says there. Number 10 was a priority position, so is number 9. However, I don't necessarily think a central midfielder is priority at this point. A goalkeeper is priority. I've said on other videos that 3 signings is enough for Manchester United to skyrocket up that table and do really, really well next season. But they have to be the right 3 signings, of course. I'm happy with the first one, Cunha. Yeah, not a problem. I think he'll work quite well with Bruno Fernandes, assuming Bruno stays, in the 2 number 10 positions. But they need someone to feed in the number 9. So that's next. And I agree that we need an experienced number 9. Or at the very least, a number 9 who is ready to make the step up and play for a big club like Manchester United. Because whether you like it or not, even though we've been crap, Man United still are a big club and there's still a lot of pressure on this big club to perform. So the microscope and all the cameras and all the journalists and all the media are always going to be bearing down with the dreaded microscope on Manchester United. So whoever signs for Manchester United needs to be able to handle that kind of exposure. So 3 signings. Number 10, we've got that. We need a number 9 that can just put the ball in the back of the net. Doesn't matter how he does it, as long as he does it. And we need a goalkeeper now. Now, Rio said 62 million or whatever it is that we've got Cunha for is a lot of money. Yes, it is. It is. But I don't think, I've said this before, I don't think money is the issue for Manchester United. Because too much is being made of Man United being skinned. It's not as bad as what people say. How can it when we've just spunked 60 odd million on Matheus Cunha? It can't be that bad. And it was reported that Ruben Amorim has got £100 million to spend, cash or whatever, available this window, but that's not including sales. So if we got 40 million for Garnacho, there's another 40, that's 140. And then we get another 40 for Marcus Rashford, because he's clearly gone. So as what he said there, if Cunha's getting the number 10, well, Rashford isn't exactly going to be changing his squad number anytime soon and playing for Man United, is he? So there's another 40. So there's 180. And then if we got rid of, say, Onana for 40 million, say, there's 220. And then, who else is gone? Sancho. So there's another 30 million or 25, whatever it is. So we've got about 250 to spend. That's more than enough to get 3 quality players in to help Manchester United move forward. Now, central midfield, no, I think we're all right there, because we've got Mason Mount, he can play there. Kobe Mainoo doesn't need any more competition. He's got plenty. He's good enough. And then we've got Casemiro and Ugarte, and we might as well use Casemiro for that final season. Use his experience. He played well in the Europa League. If you stick him next to Ugarte, who knows how to play Amorim's system, that's fine. Because having the 2 defensive-minded players in the central areas of midfield, that is ideal, because then, potentially, you've got Amad Diallo as the right wing-back. And you've got Amad Diallo as a right wing-back, then, Ugarte can cover defensively for when he's going forward. But yeah. Be interesting to see where Manchester United move forward from this point. I have no idea what centre forward we're going to sign. I have no idea. There seems to be a different name every week. One week it's Osimhen, the next week it's Delap. Then all of a sudden Osimhen, we can't afford his wages, and Delap decides to go to Chelsea. Now it's Mbeumo, and we don't know if we're going to get him. Sesko was mentioned, but it looks like he's going to Arsenal. So who is it? United are keeping quite tight-lipped about this. I mean, the Cunha deal came out of the blue, as far as I was concerned. But whoever it is, they need to be able to come in and start scoring goals straight away. But I really like how we're not messing about. And I do like that about Ineos. They didn't mess around last transfer window as well, as in last summer. They just got the business done very quickly, very efficiently, and they got good deals as well. And 60 million for a 15 Premier League goal midfielder it's actually a bargain, to be fair. Absolute bargain. Because if he didn't have that transfer fee or transfer clause written into his contract, then they probably would have charged 80 to 100 for him. If you think about it, So, yeah, we swooped in there, and he's a United fan as well, so he clearly wants to play for Man United, and that he's not a mercenary. And Anderson was his favourite player, apparently. Anderson, he was an interesting player. That's a name that I haven't heard for a long, long, long time. He was a fan favourite, but he didn't really do a lot at Man United. It was weird. He was injured a lot, but he did score a penalty in the Champions League final. So Anderson, and his song was class. He's better than Fabregas. Anderson. Yeah, that was pretty cool, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, what do you guys think? Are you happy with the Cunha signing? Are you relieved? Who are they going to sign next? Are they going to get a striker in next? Or are they going to get a goalie or a central midfielder? Or maybe other positions as well? It's hard to know sometimes, but thoughts in the comments as ever, and the Big D will see you in the next one.